Well, my last tier list video is my most disliked video. How bad could this be? Hi, it's me again, video time. We're ranking all three houses' characters based on how homophobic I think they'd be. We got our three tiers right here. Not much else to say. Let's just get into it, you know? Now, Alois. Alois is a very supportive man. I think he would be supportive of finding out his friend, or I don't know, Byleth was gay. Now you see, there is a big thing to say in this. It is not directly finding out that Byleth is gay. It's finding out that anyone is gay. This is very important later. But anyway, Anna would be indifferent. She doesn't really care about people. She just cares about money. So being supportive, being homophobic, it appeals to a customer of any type. Not any type, of a certain type. So I feel like she'd be indifferent, just, you know, for business. Annette, supportive. She's best friends with Mercedes. What else is to be said? Ash, supportive as well. He's just quite a nice guy. He likes people. Not much else to say. Balthus, supportive. He's very good friends with Yuri. And he's just a nice guy. Bernadetta. See, Bernadetta doesn't really like people. So I don't think I could put her in supportive. But I also wouldn't put her here, so I'm just gonna put her in indifferent. Byleths don't matter. Caspar. Now, Casper's a very nice guy. That's a big thing with him. He's nice. But at the exact same time, this is a medieval universe. But you know what? I'd put Caspar in supportive. Now, I think Catherine's homophobic. I'm just gonna say it. I think Catherine's homophobic. Like, yeah, there's her support with Shamir, but that whole thing about them getting married is something Shamir says. So, like, Catherine also, like, licks Rhea's butt cheeks, like, constantly. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of feel like she's homophobic. I don't know. Claude, supportive. Constance, I don't really know enough about. I haven't done a supports. So I'm just gonna put her in indifferent. No, she likes Edelgard. Okay, Cyril. I was waiting to get to this. Cyril, I think would be indifferent. However, I think Cyril would be indifferent on every route except for Crimson Flower. Because this is assuming that the character was recruited, okay? On Crimson Flower, Cyril can't be recruited because you join Edelgard. I genuinely believe that on Crimson Flower, just because of how much influence Rhea would have had on Cyril over the time skip, Cyril would be homophobic. Okay, so I tried to replace male Byleth with Cyril, and it didn't work, so now we just don't have... Well, we do have male Byleth. He's just invisible. So just imagine Cyril is here. BAP! Dimitri, I feel would be indifferent. I'm just gonna say it. Dorothea is bi. Dedu would be... See, okay. No, Dedu would be supportive. He's very loyal. He's very nice. He's very calm. He's very accepting of other people's, like, religion. So I feel like he'd be accepting of people's sexualities. Edelgard supportive. Now, okay. I feel Felix, I think, would be supportive. Now, hear me out on this. Hear me out. Hear me out. I think that Felix would be supportive, but he wouldn't show it. I think that's a big thing in Felix's character, that he has emotion and he cares a lot for the people around him. He just doesn't like to show it. So I do feel like Felix would be supportive. It's just he would look indifferent or homophobic on the outside. Simple. Ferdinand. Now, Ferdinand likes people, but I wouldn't say he'd be supportive, so I'd put him in indifferent. Flayn, I would also put in indifferent. Gilbert, I'm putting in homophobic. I mean, look at him. He's ginger. I'm cutting that out. Cut that out. Cut that out. He hates his wife. Well, okay, no, I can't make the boomer joke. I mean, just, yeah. I don't know. I just get that vibe. Get that vibe that, like, I when I play it through in my head, I can kind of imagine this going down. Gilbert and Annette are eating dinner, and then Mercedes rocks up with her girlfriend, and then he's, like, very uncomfortable because she's a lesbian. Hanneman, just don't think he would care. Same with Happy. Hilda would be supportive. I think these are all pretty obvious. Hubert's interesting. Hubert is very interesting. Because I could just slap him here and be done with it, but I'd say he's indifferent just because of these two. Ignatz, I think he'd be supportive. He'd just be very quiet about it. I think she's homophobic. I'm sorry, Ingrid fans, but I think she's I really feel like she's homophobic. Because, I mean, think about it. She's very much devout to her beliefs that are all very old about knighthood and everything. What's stopping her in believing very old beliefs that gay people are wrong? It's all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. Yuritsa doesn't care about people. Leonie, I wouldn't put her in supportive, but I also wouldn't put her in homophobic. Linhart, indifferent. He doesn't care enough to be supportive. Lorenz. Now this is very interesting. I fucking love Lorenz. But pre-time skip Lorenz would go there. He would. I mean, just kind of think about it. He loves women. He thinks gross men are detestable. Now imagine if a gross man liked him. Well, okay, using his words. Imagine if one of the gross men that he talked to, like, who was like Claude. Let's say Claude was gay and he liked Lorenz. Lorenz would fucking hate it. Right? Yeah. Lysithea wouldn't care. She doesn't give a shit about you. I think Manuela's an interesting scenario here. Because think about it. If one of Manuela's friends told her that they were gay or lesbian or something, they were attracted to the same sex, I don't think Manuela would care or Manuela would be supportive. But say she was hitting on a guy and the guy said, "Oh, no, I like men." That wouldn't go down well, would it? So I'm just going to put Manuela in indifferent. Just because, yeah. Marianne would go in supportive because that's where Hilda is. Mercedes would go in supportive because she's bi. Petra's interesting. Petra is very much bound by the beliefs of Bridget. So if there's a common belief in Bridget that, you know, bisexual people are bad, or fuck it, gay people are bad, she's not gonna be all too happy, is she? Like, with their existence. She's actually gonna be quite angry. So it's really quite interesting. It's an interesting scenario we've been put in, because were it up to me, I'd just slap her in indifferent. Like, just going based on personality. I personally would just put her in indifferent. But she very much lives by the code of Bridget, meaning she could believe fucking anything for all I know. I will put her in indifferent. But, yeah. Raphael, very supportive. He's a very nice man. He loves his friends. He would not be upset if one of his friends came out to him, like Ignaz. I don't know. Just naming examples. Not saying that Ignaz is gay. Unless you want him to be, then he can be. I don't really care. Anyway. Rhea. Rhea's homophobic. Now, hear me out on this. I will have arguments for this in the comments, saying that, oh, but female Byleth can marry Rhea. I mean, it's the same reason that Yaritza isn't indifferent. Yaritza just doesn't care about people. Neither does Rhea. Rhea doesn't give a shit about Byleth. Rhea gives a shit that she's finally with her mum again. That's what she cares about. She isn't gay, she just really likes her mother. Rhea doesn't like you. You're just a vessel to her. So, maybe if Rhea really wasn't just very horny for her mum, I'd put her in supportive. But think about it. She's a religion leader. That's a very major red flag. The whole point of the Seros religion, the Church of Seros, that's it, I forgot the name, it's been a while, is to make life progress without conflict. People not having children through same-sex marriage, to her, would prevent that. You can sort of see a path in my logic. This is also why Gilbert's there. This is also why, sadly, Seteth is put there. Seteth, although being a very nice man, is also very stuck in his ways. I feel like he's down here for the same reason that Ingrid and Gilbert are. They're very stuck in the past, and they just haven't progressed like everyone up here is. Shamir, I'd put in indifferent. She doesn't really care if you're gay or not. I mean, the same reason like Linhart's here. They both have a lot of sexual tension with people of the same gender, but they just don't really care about people. Well, Shamir kinda does. Linhart just doesn't. I think. Sothis. Sothis kinda lives in the head of bisexual people, and also doesn't really like Rhea that much. From what we can gather. Like, she doesn't hate Rhea, but at the exact same time, she doesn't like her. So, we'll just put Sothis in, I guess, supportive. I mean, like, she literally lives inside the head of a bisexual person, so, eh. Sylvain. Now, there are two... See, this is a very, very similar situation to, I'd say, probably Manuela. Sylvain is a very driven man. Driven. So, Sylvain really could be in any tier, and there'd be a valid argument for it if I'm being honest. Like, think about it. Homophobic. He hits on women all the time. Essentially the same reason Lorenz is here. Indifferent. He doesn't really care about your sexuality. If you're a woman, he'll hit on you. Doesn't matter who you're attracted to. Supportive. He's supportive as, like, by friends, like Mercedes. Every single option makes sense. I just need to come to a conclusion. Which one does this motherfucker belong to? He could be in any. He really could. I have no clue. I really, really have no clue. Because indifferent's kind of the tier I've just put people who I'm, like, not sure about. Like, Hubert and Petra and Weller. So I feel like I need extra tiers. I don't know. I'll come back to Sylvain. I'll give it some thought. Yuri, I mean, he's by himself. But if you just told him, oh, hey, I like men, he'd probably be like, okay. He probably wouldn't care. But he'd be supportive if, like, because, I mean, kind of the same reason that, like, Edelgard's there, and that Edelgard's kind of the only real example. But, yeah. Okay. This piece of shit. You know what? He gets his own tier. Fuck it. Pink. Oh, wait. This one. Add or below. Settings. There. And there we go. Now, this is the finished tier list. However, I don't think I'm done. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order all the tiers. So the closer you are to the box, the most. Say you're the closest to the supportive box. Say you were where Alois is right now. You would be the most supportive out of everyone else in the supportive tier, and the further away you were, the less you were. And indifferent is kind of just, I guess it'd be, if you were indifferent, it would be leaning. So if you're at the front of indifferent, you'd be like really close to supportive, and if you're at the back, you're really close to homophobic. And then if you're homophobic, if you're up the front, you're the most homophobic person in the game. If you're at the back, you're closer to indifferent. And then Sylvain just gets to chill out here. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and order the tiers, and then I'll be back with you in a sec. So, see ya. And okay. That is the tier list sorted. Everyone's starting at Anna to Hanneman. I just kind of put in all the same, the don't care crew. Just people who don't really give a shit about your sexuality or not. Simple as that. Yeah, but this is the ordered tier list of who I think is the most to least homophobic people in the game. Rhea being the most, Annette being the least homophobic. So, do you have disagreements? Tell me in the comments if you want. This will probably be my most disliked video because a bunch of Ingrid fans get angry at me for saying she's homophobic. Anyway. Goodbye. It's my opinion. Don't fucking kill me. Bye-bye.